And welcome to the week 2 video on how to complete your assignment for this week. Let's look at the specifics of the description of the assignment. We're going to be looking at contract law. And so what we're looking for in terms of which case you will choose is one that involves contract law in some fashion. So for instance, it could be a case on how a contract is created and whether it was created and also what the nature of the contract was and whether it was breached is another issue. Also, it could be on the damages that are appropriate for a breach of contract. In essence, anything having to do with contract law will be appropriate for this assignment. Now, I also have a list of cases that are particularly good and appropriate for this assignment. If you'd like to choose from that list, you will see it in the announcement. Now let's get into the specifics of how you actually want to answer the questions that are involved. So the first thing you're going to do is identify the parties to the court, which is very easy, obviously. You're going to provide a brief background of the problem, which essentially, for all intents and purposes, really are the facts of the case, at least the key facts, the ones that were used by the court to decide the case, and what the issue was that was to be decided. Is it a creation of contract issue? Is it a breach of contract issue? Is it a contract damages issue? Whatever that issue is, you want to state that as a single sentence with a question mark at the end of it, and you've got the issue. But you're going to have to put in the brief facts to give us a background on what the problem was with just those key facts, the very important facts, not every fact in the situation. Then you want to identify the specific disagreement between the parties. In essence, tell us what each party said about the case, evidencing the fact that they disagreed and it had to be resolved by the court. Now, you next want to explain the ruling of the court, typically in no more than 1 to 2 paragraphs. That's really all you need, but what you need to tell us beyond the facts, beyond the issue, is you need to tell us what rule of law they used and, more importantly, how they reasoned their way from the law and the facts to come to their conclusion. What was it about the law and how it applied to these facts that made them come to their ultimate conclusion? And they will tell you that in the case, so make sure that you include that in your analysis. And you also want to look for any dissenting opinion. If there was, you want to explain what they thought should have been the result and why they differed with the majority decision. And the why question is very important. Why did they? Not just that they did, but why did they? And then you want to tell us in a very short paragraph whether you agree with the court's decision and what your reasons are for agreeing and disagreeing. Okay? Now, the only thing that you have to have in terms of format is APA format for the citations. Don't worry about the case itself as a citation in APA. Just give us the cite that you actually get from the case itself, which is not APA format. But if you use outside references, obviously outside of the case itself, you will need to cite those in APA format. Otherwise, there are no format requirements for the assignment. Okay? All right, that's it for this week. If you have any questions, feel free to call or email me, and I'll be more than glad to help.